When and where were you born?
I was born 1960, and I was born in Louisville, Kentucky.
What religion do you practice?
Christian faith.
How often do you hear sex mentioned in conversation and in media?
All day, every day, it seems. Media, people I don't know talking about it loudly at lunch. It doesn't matter. It's always in the air.
How did your parents teach you about sex?
Provided reading material at a reasonably young age, so you'd have a full understanding of the biological functions. Not so much about the emotional stuff, but I had 5 older siblings to help me figure that out.
How did they teach you about sexual morality?
I guess probably listening to lectures of I had 4 older sisters that my mom bestowed upon them the fear of the wrath from her if they were to indulge in premarital sex. But also just coming to the conclusion that that's probably not a great idea when you have no way to support yourself, much less a child, nor the maturity to raise a child.
Do you think you were sufficiently informed about sex at a young age?
Yes. Yes, I had all the information I needed to make reasonable decisions.
Do you believe that sexuality is too open in society today?
Yes, it's degraded women, it's degraded men, it's degraded the entire process of love and courtship and the idea of growing old with the same person, the commitment that you have with another person, the commitment you have to your children, raising them in a family situation. I believe that the morality of sex has degraded all of those things, and it is of no value to anyone other than monetarized in movies and games and stupid things on TV.
In your opinion, how and why have social norms evolved in regards to sex?
I think part of that evolution started in the 60s with the freedom hippie generation, but I think that, in getting involved in the drugs and those kinds of things, and I think it was exacerbated a great deal by the lack of family units that were more permanent structures, and also, married and working together as a team to raise a family. I think that there's a lot to be said about keeping that family structure and keeping the family as a unit throughout life, that you look after the young, you look after the old, you take care of family, and that seems to have gone away in a lot of places. The government tries to do things, but they're completely incapable because they're not family. They're not vested in that stuff.
Stop.
Well, I could go on all day, but
Do you have any additional thoughts?
we could certainly use more programs and education when it comes to what is behind the sexuality of people, as far as the relationship that's involved, the consequences of babies, that, not scare tactics, but the simple process of you having to care for that other person and what your responsibilities are. There's no accountability on lots of things that we do. Cussing, there's no accountability. I've been to the schools, and at a very young age, you walk down the hall and you hear cussing. You hear, just people bad-mouthing each other, and that's ridiculous. Young kids shouldn't be saying and doing all that stuff, nor should the older people, for that matter. I do believe that there needs to be a stronger presence of religion. Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as you have morals and standards that are appropriate. In my mind, appropriate means, sex is a wonderful thing, but it should be considered in the confines of a loving relationship, not just, hit it and get it and go. But that seems like a lot of people, that's all they want, that's all they value, and that, there's no value in that. There's no future in that. it wouldn't hurt if kids would think about delaying that gratification, just like, you're waiting to buy your car, you got to save up. Well, delay that, and then when you find someone who's special and you want to start a family, that has a lot more to do with it. I realize no one's perfect. No one will do the things that would make them perfect, but that's why we ask for forgiveness, and then we struggle through the things that we create for ourselves.